and welcome to the very first episode of my very first podcast. My name is Caroline, but you can call me Caroline. I'm from the Netherlands, I live in Utrecht, and you can find me on Ravelry as Wolbox, which is WOLBOX, and on Instagram as Wol_box. I just thought I'd start a podcast because why not? Actually, because I want to be part of that online knitting community, which sounds a lot of fun. And I'm not really part of it right now because I'm not. And because I really actually didn't find any podcast from the Netherlands yet. So people over here just don't podcast, I guess. I know a lot of new podcasts start off by telling how they got into knitting or how they learned it, so I guess I'll just do that as well. And then I'll just do the segments everyone else does, I guess. So I'll show you my finished objects, my whips, and some acquisitions if I have them, which I don't right now. And then I'll tell you something about the shop I just opened because I dye yarn. I wish I could also make project bags, but I stink at knitting. Not at knitting. This is not going good. I stink at sewing. So the shop has yarn. So I'll start off by telling you about my first knitting adventure. I think I was 6 or 7 when I asked my mom how to knit, to teach me how to knit. And I don't really remember why, if I saw something somewhere or I don't know. But I've always been a craftsy person, and I always make, well, especially when I was a kid, I made really weird stuff, but whatever, this is about knitting. So she taught me with these big plastic needles and acrylic yarn, which is also plastic, right? And we started a scarf, a garter stitch scarf, I recall, and I also remember it had a lot of holes in it. So I don't think I actually finished it, but well, I don't know. I don't have it anymore, but I guess that's not really a shame because it would have been ready for the trash can. But well, my mom, she taught me the basics, how to cast on, which I forgot numerous times after that, so I had to keep going back to her and tell me how to do it. And she taught me how to knit and purl, and that's it. I didn't know how to increase, decrease. I didn't know anything else because my mom isn't really a knitter herself, so she just remembered from her school back in, I don't know, history. So that's what I learned. Then I didn't knit a lot in the years after that. And I think I was about 13 or 14 when I started to pick it up more regularly. Like, I started knitting regularly. Not really, not much, but whatever. So, then I knit scarves, and I don't think I knit hats yet, so still scarves. And maybe I thought about turning a scarf into a blanket, but more than that, no. And then when I got older, I think about, I don't know, I I think I was around 18, 19, 20, something like that. And then I started also knitting hats. So then I could match something with all the scarves I already made. But still nothing else, and no lace, or I didn't even switch colors because I didn't really know how to start a new color. I didn't really know how to weave in, and so I was like, I am not going to get into all the hassle. So no, I did buy some yarn with the variegated yarns, but and I still used acrylic yarn, so I didn't even know about. I always thought that wool would be itchy, which sometimes it is, but I didn't know about the soft wool yarns. So it was still the cheaper acrylics. And then I think about 3 years ago, I really started getting into knitting, like doing it every week or so. And then I also discovered the really nice yarns. And that's when a whole world opens. So, yes. Blah. That's when I actually started knitting more, up until 1 year ago when I officially declared myself a knitting addict. So, I buy a lot of yarn. I almost spend every thing I have on yarn, which my boyfriend doesn't always like. So I don't know about you, but sometimes I had some acquisitions, and because men, I mean, they don't really know what color you bought, right? So if you start a new project with a new yarn and he'd be like, hey, is that new? You'll be like, no, I already have this for like a year. And then discussion ends. So, tip. And so I buy a lot of yarn, and I also start a lot of projects. So before I get on to the whips, I must tell you I have a lot of them, and I'm not going to show you all of them because I am really I might as well be addicted to starting projects. I don't have a lot of patience, I guess, so. And I always want to knit something with the new yarns. So then I get these new yarns, and I don't buy yarn because I'm like, oh, I have this pattern, so I'm going to search for the yarn to make it with. No, I just buy yarn because I like it, and then when I get home, I'm like, okay, what should I make with it? And then I have all these ideas, and I have to start something. And that's why I have a lot of projects, and some are in boxes, and I haven't seen them for 6 months, or maybe an entire year, I don't know. So I will give love to some of them, and I will finish some of them, but a lot of them will be in the unfinished crying box. And I know that a lot of other podcasters have the 3 whip rule, because they get stressed when they have more than 3 projects on the needles. And that's where I have the problem. I just don't get stressed about it because I don't get stressed. So I'm like, whenever something's boring to me or is starting to get boring, then I'm like, nah, I want to start something new with new fresh yarn. And then I just don't look at it anymore. But I try to be better about that, because otherwise I only have all these half-finished things. So nowadays I try to have one boring project along or together with some non-boring fast projects. So and then I just tell myself, whenever you knit on these socks or this shawl, then you have to go back after a few needles to the boring project and knit some rows, and then go back to the thing you like, and then it's not that bad. And maybe this is not making sense, but that doesn't really matter, because it actually doesn't make sense. So I'll just go on to my whips, the whips, the finished objects, and whatever else I have to tell you. Or I don't have to tell you anything. Whatever. I'll just show you 4 of my whips. So I'll start on with this. With this sweater I'm working on. No, I don't have a pattern for this. I just started it top down and increased and then tried it on. Couldn't get it off. But that's a whole other story. And then just continued the body, and then I'm going to pick up the stitches for the sleeves, and then someday it'll be finished. So that's it. I just started the border, the 1x1 rib on the border, and I am also going to do something about the neckline, because I thought it would be cute to not do a 1x1 rib, but I guess this doesn't really look cute, so I think I'm going to pick up the stitches and do the 1x1 rib anyway. So that's project 1. I'm knitting it on these wooden interchangeable Knit Pro needles, which is I don't know actually how they're called, Symphony something, and I'm knitting it on extra fine merino by Drops, which is really inexpensive yarn, and it's really soft. So if you are looking for a yarn that is it's all tangled here. If you're looking for a yarn that's well, inexpensive to knit something, buy from Drops. That's always a good one. Then the next finished, no, it's not finished. I wish it was finished. The next project is the Viajante shawl. I think it's called the Viajante. It's Portuguese for traveler, I guess. By Martina Behm. And I actually just started it, so this is getting a lot of love right now, so I might finish this, because it's actually a really nice shawl, because it's doubled, so it's knitted around. So as you can see, it's actually a tube. So when it's finished, you can wear it as a normal shawl, like wrap it around, and you can also put it on as this really big cowl. And you can also actually take the cowl and pull it over your arms and shoulders, and then it's kind of this poncho-like thing, which is really nice, because I think it was designed to use on to wear on an airplane, because as you know, or might not know, it always gets cold on airplanes. So whenever it gets colder, you can kind of wear it like, at least I want to wear it like the poncho, and then I hopefully won't be cold. And also in winter time, I think it's really, really nice. I'm knitting this out of my own yarn, and I haven't named this color, and it's not in the shop yet, so I'm going to dye some more and then put it in the shop. And the pattern is not striped because I don't know why it's not striped. The pattern is not striped, but because as I told you, have to have some different parts in a project to actually finish it, because otherwise I get bored with it too soon. I thought striping would be nice, and I don't really knit that much striping things yet, so I thought, let's stripe it. So that's why it's striped. I'm knitting it on these carbons, also from Knit Pro, also interchangeable, and I think it's 4 millimeters. And I don't actually have anything else to say about this project, I guess. As you can tell, I'm new to this, so if I say something stupid or I forget stuff, you just have to ask me or tell me. Then, this is a project I actually don't really know what to do with this, because it's made out of, I'm trying to untangle it right now, it's made out of this really thin yarn. It's a shawl. Oh, well, this is upside down. It's a shawl, and it's really, really soft and nice yarn. It's merino mixed with silk, and I don't remember where I got it. I got it at some fair, and I don't really remember what colorway it is or whatever. So not much to tell you about that. I don't have a pattern for this. It's just increasing at the ends, at the beginning and the end, and in the middle, every other row. And but because the yarn is so tiny, maybe you can see it. I don't know. It's really tiny. I already have like 500 stitches on my needles, and as you can see, it's not, well, maybe it'll block out, I don't know, but it's not super big yet, so I hope it will block out, and that's a bike. Whatever. I live in the center of this city, Utrecht, and it's really hot right now, so I have to have the windows open, but it's also really noisy here, so if you hear stuff, it's the city. I don't know what to do about this part, because I actually think this is really boring, but I don't want to rip it out because, hello, I did a lot of work. And I actually want to finish the yarn before I end it, but this is a lot of yarn. So I don't know. I'll just try to knit some rows every week, and then hopefully it will be finished someday. I actually wanted this for summer, but it's already summer, so maybe next summer. Then I have another shawl like that, but it's boring as well, so I will not bore you with that. I'll try to show you some more interesting stuff next time, but I don't have that right now, I guess. I don't know. Then I'll just show you my one and only finished object, which is the lettuce shawl by Maria Monska from the Stitched in Sweden podcast. Is this shawl? which I really like. It's knit out of Malabrigo sock in the Pochon colorway. I don't know how to pronounce that. And the border is knit in my own undyed yarn sock base. I actually made a mistake in this pattern, in the first lace pattern in this section. It should have been a little longer, but I forgot one purl row and just continued the lace. So I got some sort of arrow line. So in order to keep it symmetrical, I thought I'd start the lace early. So I emailed her and asked her if that was possible, and she said that was no problem, so I did. So my shawl's actually a little smaller than it should be, but that's fine, and you can just, you know, wear it like that. Which I'm not going to do now because it's really hot. Everyone, if you want to knit a shawl which is fast and fun, knit this one by the pattern, because as I already said, I don't have a lot of patience, and I knit this within a week. It was super fun. It has all these different sections and which make you go because you actually want to get to the apply border part, and even that, and when I started it I was like, oh, this is going to take forever, but when I was, I think 10 pointy bits in, I was like, I am going to power through before I put this away. So this was a really fun, quick knit. So if you're like me or you just like the shawl, buy it. And that's another bike because nice weather, so bikes. Then I'll just continue to tell you something about my shop. If you don't want to see it, I guess you'll just turn the video off, right? So then I'll see you next time. I'll just show you some of the colorways I have, and these are the colors that are already up in the Etsy shop, which I'll link down below. I don't really thought of a page yet where I could put my show notes. Do you want show notes, really, or not? Well, tell me. I'll just put some links in the description box to my Etsy shop, to where you can find me on Ravelry and Instagram, and I'll link the pattern from Maria. Well, I'll just show you some of the yarn. Let's start with Rainforest. Sorry. Yes, this is Rainforest. Which has all these nice blues and greens and warm brown. Then I have a Rainbow in the Night, which is, as you can see, night sky and a rainbow. Then I have Strawberry, which has all these bright red flecks. It's a soft pink with bright red flecks. Then Chick Fluff, because it's as fluffy as a chicken. And Mermaid, because of the green tail and the, I don't know, I just thought it was mermaid. This is Neptune, because it has all the colors of the deep blue sea. And I don't really know if the colors come out great, but in my Etsy shop you will see the colors how they are as they are. And I have potion because it is so poisonous. It's like a really greenish, bright green with gray. So these are the yarns I'm going to show you now. And then later on I will show you some of the not the newer because everything is new. The other colorways which I didn't take pictures of yet because I am not a good photographer. I don't know what it is. I mean, everyone these days loves taking photos, loves photography, is really good at it, and it's like this big hype. And I don't like it. I hate it. I never get colors right, so whenever I take photos of these yarns, it actually takes me a whole day for a few colors because I tried everything. I have a pretty expensive camera. I bought it years ago and I still don't know how it works, which is pretty frustrating. I tried every setting on that camera, really. It's supposed to be like this semi-professional or professional camera, and I cannot work with it. The color never comes out right, really. I take 100 photos of just one yarn in the sun with lamps. I try everything. I try the manual setting, I try the automatic setting, I try the little flowery thing for photos which you take up close. I take the sporting man setting, I try the woman, I try the portrait thing. I really don't know what to try, and I tried them all, and for some reason yellow is always orange, or blue looks like green, and I always have to go to Photoshop. So if anyone has tips on how to take photos, photos, then tell me, because I don't know. And well, it's actually a thing with me in photography because I suck at taking photos, but whenever I'm in front of the camera, that's when really weird stuff happens. My head actually looks like Shrek, but without the green. So every time people take pictures, and I'm in this group, and everyone's like, then I always try to look cute, and then everyone's like, who is that on the photo? And then I always have to tell them that is me. So they always think there was some party basher or someone that wasn't supposed to be there, and that's then me. They're always like, where's Caroline on the photo? Well, I was there. But so that's why it's good. This is a video and not, well, I don't know how I look on video, but photos, no, never. And I can't really take them as well, so me and photography is a no-go. So if you have tips, tell me. Then, I don't have a lot to tell you anymore, I guess. I will just tell you other stuff next time. I will try to make a video every week, and then I will do that on a Monday, and then I will hopefully upload it on Monday or Tuesday, depending on how much I have to edit everything I say. And that's it, actually. If you have questions, remarks, if you want to tell me how bad I am at making podcasts, you can do that by sending me a message on a Ravelry or leaving some things down below in the comment section on YouTube, which you are right where you are right now, I guess. Otherwise, I don't know where you are. So, I'll just see you next week. Bye! Hello everyone! This is and it's so much fun!